Well, good morning everybody, this is DearMamaSal, and I thought I'd show you crocuses about to flower, and I wonder what that is. A tulip maybe? Lots of crocuses over there. Bill, this one's for you. Well, good morning everybody, this is DearMamaSal on a fairly chilly Tuesday morning. It's 2 degrees here in southern British Columbia, which would make it about 35 in American. Part of me goes, maybe my warmer coat would have been a good idea, but I do have a fairly warm cardigan on, so that should keep me okay. I have really started to notice the mornings getting lighter. Significantly so, which is great, which means we're definitely heading in the right direction for me. And that means that the days are probably getting slightly shorter for those in the southern hemisphere. Best of luck, guys. I had a really moving email amongst my emails this morning, and one of them from, I think, Lola. And Lola's been going through a really tough time. My whole sense about Lola's life is that she has been, well, manipulated by a lot of people in her life, and mostly by guilt. And for anybody who's ever been through that, they will know that it's a very uncomfortable place to be. And I think Lola, I should add, is in her 50s, and herself not well. And yet the mother guilt is going on. And if any of you have ever experienced that, which I'm sure a lot of you have, the strings that mothers pull to make you feel guilty. And I just need you to understand, Lola, that you are perfectly normal in this. This is not something you've done wrong. This is something that a lot of us go through. Those of you lucky enough to have parents still alive, obviously, and there, I'm certain, some of you who will listen to this or watch this and go, gosh, I wish I had a mother to manipulate me. And our hearts go out to you, obviously. But that said, Lola, you asked me, what do I do? Because not only is it your mother, but also your siblings as well that are doing all these things. Well, the only advice I have, I know you're going and seeing a medical professional, so that is awesome. That would always be my first advice, get some help on this one, because it's a big one. If you don't know the tools, it's a really important thing to get some therapy, just so that you can have some skills on how to deal with it. As some of you know, I really swear by Melody Beattie, because her book, which, yeah, I'll remember it. I can't believe I can't remember the book. Anyway, she has written some great books about codependency, and one of her books, when I read it, just changed my life, because it not only told me what was going on and explained it in a really good way, but gave me scripts, you know, things I could say to stop the pain. In other words, to stop people from trying to manipulate me or guilt me out or do whatever. And, you know, it's so strange because we don't get taught that. And unfortunately, for a lot of us, what we get taught is manipulation, and we pass it on because it's all we know. And I'd like to suggest that it's a really good thing to understand how it happens, how it works, how, you know, it plays out, really. And, you know, Lola, I sort of read what you had to say this morning, and my heart broke for you first thing this morning. You know, it's just like, wow, what a difficult place to be in. But here's the good news. Keep getting the help that you need, because it's very, very important. And secondly, I want you to really be aware of being the person you would like other people to be. In other words, even if people say hateful things about you, which, believe me, I know more than most, even though people say nasty things about you, even though people spread rumors about you that might not be true, even though people want you to change and be what they want you to be, not what you want to be, the most important thing is that you stay as calm as you can. And I'd like to give you an example that, you know, if somebody really, you know, says some nasty things to you or difficult things to you, you've got a choice. You can defend yourself, which quite honestly just escalates it even more. Or you can just say thank you for your opinion. With love. Thank you for your opinion. I appreciate it. Because what most people do, Lola, from my experience, is they push you, you know, they press your buttons. They push you for a reaction. And when they get the reaction, then they use that against you as well. So, you know, that isn't worth it. So if somebody is writing or phoning you with nasty comments or manipulations or whatever, it doesn't mean you have to react to it. The words, I understand. In other words, you've read what they've said and you understand where they're coming from. Very nice, very simple closure. I understand. And by the way, if you do it with love, if you really do understand where they're coming from, that's enough. And I think we go back to the story, Lola, and I appreciated you saying that you think it's a good idea for me to put up some of the older videos if I'm unable to put up a video, and I'm definitely going to dig some of those out next time. But one of the things that I've said time and time again is, if you feel like you're turning yourself into a pretzel to please others, then you're being manipulated at some level. If you suddenly feel shamed, and as you so rightly said, Lola, and I love, not that you had to write it, but I love that you said it, I felt like a child. Yes, that's a pretty sure sign that you've been manipulated or shamed. You see, Lola, one of the tricks in life is that, and I say tricks, I don't think it really is a trick, but one of the coping mechanisms of life is to let people do what they need to do. You know, we don't walk in their shoes, we don't have their anger, we don't have their stress. We have our own anger and our own stress and our own problems in life. And quite honestly, who cares about them? Not very many people. And so expecting people to care about your side of the story sometimes is quite honestly a waste of time, because they don't. If they did, they'd probably ask for your side of it, but they don't. And so if it's a one-sided thing, which obviously it is, Lola, in your case, then understand that fighting it is not going to make it better. And I know that you are struggling with lupus at the moment, and that is a very difficult thing to cope with, I know. I used to actually go and speak for people with lupus, go and cheer them up. It was one of my annual sort of trips. I used to do people with brain tumors, people with lupus. There were a couple of them, people with head injuries. And I tried to make a point of going every year and hopefully making them laugh a bit, cheering them up a bit. I really appreciate the fact you wrote to me, Lola. It was a difficult subject, and I'm certain it was difficult for you to write. But keep on going to the therapist you're going to, and keep giving examples for them to help you with. Because the more examples you can give them, the more tools they can give you as to how you might want to counter that. One of the things that might be frustrating is you might have a therapist who spends the whole time saying, "And how did you feel about that?" I've had it happen. And so your answer really needs to be very honest. About as frustrated as I am right now when I'm trying to find an answer and I'm not getting one. You know? Now, it's probably not the perfect answer to give, but it's the one I used to give. You know, I asked for help, not for a question. It's okay to be frustrated. I can assure you, I've had a week of tremendous frustration. And it's just part of life, unfortunately. Good news and bad news. You know, it just comes in. I don't know why. The yin and the yang. I mean, it's just scary sometimes. So, big hug to you, Lola, and thank you for discussing it, because I'm certain there'll be other people who will relate to this. And if you do, please comment below and make sure that you give some support to Lola, because she deserves it, and probably looking for a friend who understands right now. So if you are that person, then make sure you let her know that. It's normally a degree or two warmer when I get up to this level, but not today. Today we're still pretty cool. Alright everybody, so the word of the day, pretzel. That would be my word. That terrible feeling of doing everything you possibly can to keep everybody happy and it doesn't work. When you get into that pretzel feeling, stop. Take a deep breath, and number one thing, look after yourself. You asked me, Lola, what do I do now? You look after yourself. Stop worrying about everybody else. Everybody's got their own way of doing it. But even in doing that, I would encourage you to continue to be the good person you are. In other words, continue to be nice to the people you care about. Even if they're not being nice to you, they're probably going through a funk of their own at the moment. So try and do what you can to just continue to be a nice person. Do not isolate yourself, Lola. Very, very tempting to do that. Let me cut off the world, then it won't hurt as much. Well, quite honestly, it hurts more, because in doing that you also cut off the friends that care about you. So be careful not to do that, and make a point of doing things with people. Go and see a fun movie. Go and see something that makes you laugh, or your favorite movie, go see it again, or play it again for yourself. Do something to nurture yourself. Preferably not attached to food or drink or anything like that. Don't let them change the person you are. I think one of the most difficult things in doing what I do is to stay true to why I'm here, and to realize that, a bit like friends, some are going to be there for a reason, some will be there for a season, and maybe some for a lifetime. I don't know. I'll find out. But the good news is, in between all of that, I just need to carry on and do what I came to do, which is share a little, in the hope that, like you, Lola, that it makes a difference in your day. And thank you for letting me know that it does. I really appreciated that. And you have no idea how much I needed to hear that this morning. It's really very kind of you. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day. Remember, if you feel like you're being turned into a pretzel, you probably are. If you feel like you're being, if you feel like you suddenly feel like a child, it's probably because somebody's treating you like one. There's always a good reason. It's, you probably are not making it up. On the other hand, if you're acting like a child, expect to be treated like one. So there is that other side to it, which is, we need to grow up and be accountable for our actions. And if we have done anything to hurt somebody else, it's a good time to apologize. It takes character to do that. And by the way, it's not necessary for the other person to forgive you. You just need to clear your plate and apologize. And what they do with that apology is totally up to them. You just know you've done your best to say you're sorry. It was not your intent to hurt them, or it was, whatever it was that's going on. All right, Lola, so all the best. Hugs, you see, that's what I want to do. I want to send you a very big hug. And keep writing when you feel frustrated. Keep writing when you feel like you're being turned into a pretzel, because there's something in writing about it that normally makes it a lot clearer for you. This is DearMamaSal saying, look after one another, but most of all, look after yourself. Bye-bye for now.